Oh, in the flower, in the plants. There you go. Good job. Put in the plant, Mama. Oh, you're getting yourself wet. Here, like that. Here, hold it.
Mommy.
Well? In the plant, Sheba. That's grass. Here, like this. There you go. Good job. Just got done stuffing this big pumpkin. I showed you guys yesterday. This is a huge one. We got all the leaves from the yard. The rest is still blowing out, a few of them, but this is the majority. Filled up this ginormous pumpkin. Just watering my plants. And one mom looks good, the other one never revived. It's still dead. I'm so sad. Hey guys, good morning. Want to say hi? Yes, come here. Come say hi. Oh. Say hi.
Mommy.
Yeah, that's Mommy. And who? Who's that?
Friend.
It's not friend. Say me. Say me. Say that's me. Everly. You're probably going to hear on the rest talking to the dogs. I'm talking to the vlog. He's wiping down the dogs because we have, oh my gosh, we have sand still in the backyard and they're filthy. Every time they go back there, they just roll around. We wipe them down. They come inside. They go back outside. They roll around. Come here, Charlie boy. Hi, buddy. Hi, my buddy. Oh, say hi. Say hi, everybody. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. Oh my goodness, you guys, they're huge. Yes, be gentle. And he's still full of sand. Come over here, Mama. Oh, and slobber. Sand slobber at that. Look, he wants to go back out. You hear him? No. Ugh. Trying to keep them inside. They want to be outside. You hear him? That's him ringing the bell. He wants to come out. Bailey girl. Hi, pretty girl. Hi. No, they can't go outside. They just were out.
I know they know what I'm saying. They want to.
Most dogs want to stay inside. And well, here's the problem. We don't have AC right now. Our AC stopped working yesterday. We just had this problem like, what, a couple months ago? Not even. So like, we're waiting for the AC guy to come. So anyway, we just got back. I'm doing my nails. We're waiting for him. I just got my flu shot. Where is it? Yay. So yeah, shot. Everyone has had their flu shot except the two middle girls, Maddie and Autumn. So they'll get theirs next week. But again, if you're not pro-vaccine, my page is not the one for you. Because I always talk about vaccines. I always keep the girls up to date. We get our flu shot every year. We have had our COVID vaccines. And any and all boosters, we will be getting those too. So now that that's out of the way, yeah, I'm just doing my nails. Just trying to get them together. They're too big, baby. They're already like twice your size. They're so big. It's so crazy. I was editing last night a vlog from the end of September. So it's been just barely 2 weeks. And they're already huge, way bigger than they were even 2 weeks ago. It's so crazy. I can tell they're getting bigger, but like even just seeing it in the vlog is just so crazy. So anyway, today, the top priority is getting our AC repaired or fixed or replaced or whatever needs to happen. I'm like a tiny bit stressed out, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And the weather is supposed to be crappy the next few days. So I'm like, it's been drizzling on and off, which has made the backyard really wet and moist. And so they're just rolling all in it. And they have a grooming appointment on Friday. They are dropping off sod tomorrow. I think either we're going to try and get him to deliver later today, or he for sure is delivering first thing tomorrow morning. So we're going to get that laid, but until it's like nice and solid in the ground, the sand's still going to be everywhere. And I'm going to have to be very careful with them in the backyard for at least a couple of weeks because I don't want them to rip up the grass that we're paying good money for. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We do need to make a stop at Walmart or somewhere. We are out of milk and we need just a few little groceries to get us by. I have mentioned, in fact, I was in the vlog that I was editing last night, because again, I'm like a week and a half, 10, 12 days behind. We've been doing kind of a semi-pantry challenge. I say that very loosely because, I mean, we're eating what we have is pretty much what it boils down to. I'm trying to clean out the freezer, not necessarily the pantry as much as the freezer. So yeah, I'm also having, by the time you guys see this, it'll be after the fact, but I'm also having a Color Street live sale tomorrow. So I'm doing my nails. I'm going to be wearing, I think, a combo of Munich Mulberry, which is like a dark brick red, and then this one is No Way San Jose. That's like a mauve-y, like that. You can see the colors. And then I have Thanks a Million. This was last year's, you can see it there, last year's Thanksgiving color. So I think I'm gonna do a combination of all those. See how it comes out. My nails are kind of long right now. What are you doing? You have the ball? Oh, you didn't give Daddy a kiss? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Ball, where'd it go? Bailey has it or Charlie? She gets them confused. Even though Bailey has a pink collar on, Charlie has a black collar. Bailey, say please ball, Bailey. Drop it. Tell her drop it. I'm so proud of you, Lola.
She wants to go.
Yeah, she wants to take off so bad. She's doing good. Mila's not really fazed by them, but Lola still loves her space.
Yeah, they both of them took after her. Like they're chasing her to the prom. One, and she gets under the bench.
Oh, you love Daddy. Here, Dad, let me clean your beard. Gross. It was dirty.
Oh. She gets under the bed, the bench. One gets on one side, the other one gets on the other. They kind of her trap, and they're like, just play with it. And we're like, okay, I'm done. But she was messing with them.
Mila or Lola?
Mila.
Oh.
I'm watching them. You see, they got it out of hand. No, they were just trying to blow it.
Well, that's good. I know Mila likes playing with them, not Lola.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she hasn't left yet. Oh. Good job, Mila. No, Lola. Too many names. Oh. Oh, just like you push me. Let me see, baby. Oh. It's like all in your...
I know, it's everywhere.
Does this hurt?
No.
Okay. Let me see, put your head up. Oh, nasty. Okay, let me wipe it. Sick.
And how'd you stick in the bath?
I know. Well, we were out here working. Maybe it'll rain and it'll get all of it off.
Yeah.
You start growing flowers. He spilled a whole bag, or part of a bag of manure all on him. Let me wipe your neck, baby. Oh, he came in and was like, you just missed a good slow-mo. We got grass delivered, and good morning, by the way. We've had a rough couple of days. Just got grass delivered, so he's laying topsoil and manure. Well, it's not manure, it's compost mixed with the topsoil over the grass, so that over the sand, so the grass has something to stick to. And the dogs have done a fabulous job of getting, don't hurt yourself, okay? Go with your legs, not your back. Anyway, the dogs have done a wonderful job of spreading the sand all over the grass. Somebody's coming to pick up the very torn up, the dogs have completely destroyed it, but somebody knows that and they're coming to get it. The springs are all exposed. We haven't let Everly jump on it since we got the dogs because they immediately started to tear it up and they loved it, but I don't want their paws to get stuck in the springs or anything either because they're all exposed. None of the foam is left, none of the padding. So we gave it away on Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, the yard, yeah, you can see is like sand all throughout the grass. So yeah, we have the grass got delivered this morning. Oh, it's very ugly outside. It looks like it's about to rain. It's over there. There's some of it. You guys can see it out there. There. We have a sick kiddo. Can I leave a fly? Here, a fly somewhere. A sick kiddo home. How you feeling? How you feeling? You too shy now? Yeah, okay. What about you, Everly? You can't go outside right now, buddy. You gonna eat? So yeah, it's been a crazy few days. I think the last time I vlogged, I was talking about the AC going out a few days ago. So we had the AC people come out. We have like a plan with them where they come service it and all this stuff. Well, they wanted to charge us an arm and a freaking leg for a new unit, $16,000. So I got advice from people that have actually replaced their unit, and $16,000 is insane, an insane amount of money. I'm looking at the bill right now. So I was really shocked. I was expecting, you know, $7,000, $8,000 for the size of unit that we would need. And when I saw that amount, I was like, what? Look at my hair. Oh my gosh. It's like, really, what the heck? And he was like, yeah, copper and whatever else, AC, metal, stuff like that has gone up. And we were like, oh, okay, you know. So yeah, we're needless to say, getting more quotes. Thank you to all my family. That was like, that's crazy. I talked to them all today and everyone was like, I'm so glad you're getting more quotes. I'm like, me too. I'm glad I called everyone because like my grandma's AC guy is coming. My grandma has a rental home. So her AC guy is coming over to give us a quote. We're getting a quote from Costco and another company. And honestly, it's kind of crazy the way that it happened because I think I talked about this a few months ago when we had the AC people come out. They cleaned everything. It was only like a couple hundred, not even, I think it was like 100 and something to fix it. Not a big deal. They've put refrigerant in the system before because it has a small leak. We knew that it has a small leak, but we're trying to use the system for as long as we can before we had to replace it. I know. So we thought this was going to be the time, like that it had died. Well, he put refrigerant in it yesterday to hold us over, or what we thought was enough to just hold us over until we get the unit replaced. And it's been working okay. So we have a little bit of time to get, Charlie's okay. He's okay. I have to put Bailey in the kennel when she's eating because Charlie's good about just sitting next to her and she feeds him all the time. Unfortunately, I have to be very careful. I lock them up and put them outside when she's eating because if she's eating stuff that is not good for them, I already know she'll try and feed them. So I have to watch her really carefully. But today she only had pet friendly stuff. And I mean, not that it was meant for the pets, but like if it happened to drop or whatever, it's not a big deal. But Bailey is very poor at listening when it comes to jumping, trying to jump on her high chair. So we're in the process of training that out of her because sitting next to her and begging for food is one thing, but actually jumping on the high chair and trying to grab it off her plate is something totally different. So anyway, we're trying to train her out of that. Charlie's normally really good. He'll just lay next to her and hope she drops something. So anyway, she's in the kennel if you can hear her wrestling around. And actually, I felt so sorry for her this morning because I told them to go lay down. Charlie likes to lay behind the couch right here by the table or in front of the couch in the corner, depending on where somebody is. If I'm in the kitchen, he'll lay in the kitchen. If I'm in the living room, he likes to lay in the living room, but he never goes to the bed, hardly ever. He doesn't go to the kennel unless it's bedtime, and he likes the cool tile. He will lay on his side or he'll lay with his legs open. He's so funny. So he likes that, and Bailey does not. She prefers, she'll lay next to him if she absolutely has to, but she prefers the bed. You're done? You did a good job. You all done with your milk too? You still drinking milk? No? Okay. So, but she prefers the kennel, and it was so sad. It wasn't even locked. It was just closed to where she couldn't paw it open. And she sat there and cried next to it. I felt so bad for her. So I went to go open the door, and she walked right in. They're such good dogs in different ways. It's crazy how different their personalities are. I guess you can expect that, even though they're the same breed. They're 2 different dogs, 2 different litters, 2 different genders, or sexes, I should say. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a crazy couple of days. So we're currently working on getting the AC fixed. I have a sick kid here at home. She woke up last night. I thought we were going to have to get her tested. I didn't get any letters from school saying she was a close contact or anything with anybody, which, by the way, none of them ever tested positive for COVID. All their antibodies have been negative too. So they've never had COVID. So I don't know how they would react. I don't know if they'd be asymptomatic or if they would have, you know, a small amount of symptoms, but I noticed she had kind of like a dry cough the last few days and turned into like some congestion, and she was a little warm yesterday after school. So I was like, great, you know, we're probably gonna have to get her tested. And so we were kind of looking into it, and I was like, no, she should be fine. She hasn't had a fever. It was not even low grade. She just felt warm. Put her in different pajamas and fine, right? Wakes up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Her airway was so narrow. Poor thing was like, she was completely dusky right here. I almost said musky. Dusky all in her mouth area. Like, she had horrible stridor. I don't think any of them have ever woken up with that much narrowing to where she started to turn like a grayish blue color in her mouth. I was really shocked. So immediately, she didn't start crying or anything either, which sometimes is helpful because they actually will try and cough. They'll try and get that airway open. She wasn't. She was just struggling. So, and it's like, I know all these things as a medical provider, as a nurse, like I know how to take care of these things, but as a mom, my instinct is to panic and call 911. I know that sounds crazy because you think, oh, you should know what to do. It should be great. No. My instinct as a mom is that's my baby. I can't think straight. 911 needs to come right now. So anyway, she could barely talk. I was like, it's okay, calm down. We immediately went outside because whenever you have a kiddo that has stridor, it just means that the airway is narrowing. It sounds like, and when they cough, it sounds like a high-pitched bark, like a seal. Classic croup, classic. So I knew that's what she had. I knew we needed to just get her airway open, and we're going to take her to the ER so she could get some steroids on board, which really, if you just get their airway open, they're doing good. So croup is viral. There's not much else you can do besides treat the symptoms. But of course, I mean, I was internally panicking a little bit because she was very dusky in her mouth, and that was worrisome. If you've ever seen like a baby like that, it's scary. So what, baby? Bailey's fine. That's Charlie though. Charlie's okay. So anyway, yeah, I was like, try and breathe. When we went outside, it was cool. It was a tiny bit humid. I was like, try and breathe, you know, try and breathe. We did not have a nebulizer. I cannot believe I forgot that the nebulizer stopped working with whichever last kid had to use it, because we had like a nebulizer, like a joint nebulizer, and then we had different tubing, and we had the medication for, I think each of them have had their own medication at some point, but for a while they were all on the same dose. Now that they're different sizes and stuff, they're probably on different doses. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, so didn't have a nebulizer. All I had was a rescue albuterol puff, and with a spacer, which is perfect for her. So I gave her a puff, waited a little while. She was still kind of narrow, gave her another puff, and I was outside the whole time. And then we went to the ER. Whenever that kind of stuff happens, a warm shower, like put them in the shower with the steam to allow it to open up, go outside with the cool air. anything you can do to try and get their breathing open. So when we drove to the ER, it wasn't too far, had all the windows down. By the time we got to the ER, it was much better. And her O2 sat, thank God, was fine. And I was good. I told the guy, because I'd been told one time by a physician, he's like, I really don't prefer you give them a rescue inhaler before they come. I said, but you know, when your child's barely breathing, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get their airway open. So I was like, I gave her 2 puffs. They still ended up giving her Decadron, which is typical, but it was PO, so it did take a little while to kick in. Today, she sounds completely clear. She's still a little congested, but her lungs sound okay, which thank God. Oh my gosh, it's like, if you've ever had a kiddo with croup, it's scary because it just sounds so bad. So anyway, and it's typically happens in the middle of the night. Usually during the day, they're fine or, you know, very few symptoms, but at night is really when it happens, which is the scariest time to have to do something. So thank God Andres was here and I could take her because yeah, I was just kind of worried. So this is what I look like. We were up super late. We didn't get home until like 2:30, up early this morning, get the girls to school. I know the grass came right after that. The AC people, like, it's been a rough couple of days. So anyway, yeah, that's what we've been up to. I'm about to put Everly down for a nap. Autumn's finishing up some lunch, and then I've been having her in her room to kind of quarantine her from Everly, because typically croup happens to like 5, 6 years old. Older kids can get croup, but typically it affects 5, 6 and under. So I've been trying to keep them kind of away from each other so that hopefully Everly doesn't get it. We've had our fair share with Maddie. I think we had to take her to the hospital like 3 times. I don't think Emmy, I think she had croup once. Actually, I'd have to go back and look because I keep records of all this stuff. I'd have to go back and look. I don't know that she ever did have croup, but Maddie had it like 2 or 3 times. I think this is her 2nd or 3rd time.
No, it's my first time.
No, baby, it definitely is not your first time. 2 times, maybe 3. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. But anyway, she's doing a lot better now, thank goodness. So it's been a rough couple of days. Hey guys, good morning. We have had an early morning so far. I still have a kiddo home. I kept her 1 more day. She hasn't had a fever in 2 days, but she still sounded a little hoarse. So yeah, I just kept her home.
Tomorrow I'm going back to school.
Yeah, she feels good. She's like, how come I didn't go back to school today? I'm like, because I just wanted to be sure. She only has 1 day and then they have a fall break. So I'm really not super worried. She's only in kindergarten. I'm not overly worried that she's missing a whole bunch of stuff or anything like that. So it's totally fine. But anyway, we've had a busy couple of days. We have another AC guy coming today. So ended up, I think we're actually going to be able to save this AC for at least a few more months, because the guy that came, what's today? Thursday, that came Tuesday, ended up putting refrigerant in it, and it's been running since. So we had to pay for the refrigerant, and because of that, refrigerant's not super cheap. So I told Andreas that we've had several quotes that are like thousands less than the first guy, which is insane. Good job. It's so insane. I mean, how big of a difference from that first company it has been. So I'm so grateful we got additional quotes, because honestly, we were going to go with the first guy. And then I kept talking to people and I was like, this seems like a lot, right? And everyone was like, oh my gosh, you could get it so much cheaper. So I'm so glad we went with the gut and decided to get more quotes, because I would have been so upset if we had wasted all that money when we could have got the same product for significantly cheaper. So anyway, we have 1 more company coming today. We had several out yesterday and they've all been around the same price. So it's just more about like the warranty and stuff like that we're gonna go with. But because he put refrigerant in it, it's actually been running. And the problem is we didn't maintain it. So take this life lesson from me. Maintain your AC. If you're buying a new house or you get a house, get some sort of company that does like biannually tune-ups and that kind of stuff. Check all your stuff, because so yeah, we didn't maintain it properly, and it really, you need to maintain it. You can get several more years than we're actually getting out of this current unit if you maintain it from the get-go. But unfortunately, we never maintained it, which stinks for us. And so because of that, yeah, we're paying the repercussions right now, consequences for our actions. So like I said, lesson learned, very expensive lesson learned. And because it has had a leak for a while and we didn't fix it properly the first time, it could have had probably several more years in its life, but we didn't fix it properly the first couple of times, and now it's kind of too little too late. So the outside compressor, and I'm not, you know, super into like HVAC stuff. I'm just telling you what all these people have told us the last few days. The outside compressor is dying because it's having to overwork to compensate for the leak inside. So if we replace the coils and stuff inside, the compressor is going to go out, which we're going to have to end up doing anyway. So we might as well get a whole new system. Like 5 different people have told us the exact same thing. So I know they're not lying, but it just kind of stinks. So what's wrong? So anyway, since we had to pay the hefty price for the refrigerant, we may try and just run it till it doesn't run anymore, which the worst that would happen is it just would stop running again. So I'm not overly worried about it, but that's it's kind of where we're at right now. But we're still getting quotes because it's going to need to be replaced in probably the next few months. So it is what it is. Anyway, another project. I had a live sale last night. Thank you guys so much for those of you who joined me. It was so much fun. So I'm working on getting those out today and tomorrow. Like I said, Autumn's home. I have some at home. I've been really into the at-home coffee the last few days. I do miss getting like a Starbucks here and there, but I'm trying to save money because we have to pay $8 grand for a new AC, you know. It's what an emergency fund is for. It's another thing, a huge thing that I would really like. A lot of people, a lot of the budget places that I follow say like an emergency fund, $1,000. I get it. Most people don't have to replace an AC, but if we didn't have a good size emergency fund, we'd have to finance the $8,000 that it's going to cost to replace the AC. And actually we've gotten it a little, some of the quotes have been a little bit cheaper than that, but I don't want to finance anything. Like we have our cars financed, our house financed, and I have student loans. That's the only debt that I have left. And it's a lot, don't get me wrong, but I don't want any other consumable type debt. And I don't want to roll the AC into our mortgage, like to a second mortgage or anything like that, which that is an option. I don't want to do that. And so I'm grateful that we've been able to get our finances together and be able to have the money to pay for it, because it could be so much worse. Like I was telling Andres, like as big of a hit as it is, it could be so much worse. We could not have the money, or we could not have good credit and have to try and figure out how to do it. So like your finances are so important. If you guys are young, you don't have kids, or you're single, keep your finances up. Have a good savings. Make sure your credit is decent, because you never know when you're going to be in an emergency situation and you need to fix something, you know? So yeah, that's my best advice. Melissa's Thursday tips for the day. And don't get me wrong, we're not perfect by any means. We've made so many mistakes over the years, but we've finally come in the last like probably 3 to 5 years, full circle, 100% like total change. And it's been so much more for the better. So anyway, another thing we did yesterday was put grass over the big pool hole, and it downpoured last night. If you were on my live sale, you could probably hear it. It downpoured for hours. So everything is soaked, which is beautiful because we laid the grass and then it soaked. So I'm super excited. Let me show you. Okay, so we're still with the dirty back door, but I cannot keep it clean. I don't know if I should put a guard. If you guys have dogs and you have a glass back door, like I've cleaned this thing so many times, and the second they come over with muddy paws, it just gets dirty. So let me know if you have any suggestions. I see you. You playing music with Sissy? So anyway, we had that big hole in the backyard. It wasn't even a hole. It was just, it was actually pretty level. Where we had the pool. So Andres yesterday, bless his heart, he's such a hardworking man. You guys, I could not have gotten any luckier. He is just the best. He spread the sand around and laid some, I think I showed you a video of it, some compost and topsoil, and laid the grass. So we had it delivered yesterday, and he laid it all by himself. he's just so amazing. I can't be more grateful. So anyway, he's on a very important Zoom call right now, but anyway, we ended up going, so this is like, you can see here where the circle kind of was supposed to come around here. So he ended up tilling all this area, laid new grass, tilled all this right here. So yeah, he still has a few little patches to do over there. I think that's the new AC guy. But yeah, it looks so good, and the dogs have already christened it. Don't worry, I'll move out of your way while I cook dinner, okay? It's your kitchen. I'm just working in it. So speaking of dinner, while I still step over my dogs here, I had some sausage in the fridge and some of these cheese tortelloni from Costco, a couple of jars of Alfredo sauce. I'm going to zhuzh it up with my own seasoning. But, yep, this is what's for dinner. I have some bread baking in my air fryer over there. I will turn everything off and let it sit with the lid on, so it'll continue to marinate and cook while I'm gone, but nothing will be on. I have to go get the girls from school, but this is very easy what's for dinner. If I had some spinach or like arugula or something leafy, I would toss it in. Basil would be really good too.